Good afternoon. Welcome to our weekly press conference with head coach Tom Arth. This week, Akron travels to Miami of Ohio for its final road trip of the 2019 season. The Zips will meet the MAC East Division champion Redhawks on Wednesday, November 20th at 7:30 at Yeager Stadium. Coach, would you like to start with an opening statement?
Sure. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you to everybody for being here. Again, excited for the opportunity this week. I saw last evening that Miami clinched the MAC East, so it's an exciting opportunity for us to go play against the champion within our division. We know it's going to be a great test on the road. They're a very good football team. Have a lot of respect for what they do and how they've done it, and excited for our opportunity to go compete, against that group. So, I think it's a special trip, for our program, for our seniors especially. I think everybody always talks about that last home game and senior day and all those things. But for me, that final road trip for the seniors, I always think is pretty special. That opportunity for us this weekend. It's a relatively long bus trip, but just being in the hotel, having dinner with your teammates, the pregame routine, all those things that you do on the road when it's so different, than a typical environment. I think is really special, and I'm really going to encourage our seniors, to enjoy that, and to cherish those moments, and for the younger players on our team to really understand and appreciate that group, and to realize that we have 2 games left with them. This is our last road trip with them, and in a couple weeks, we're going to be a completely different team, and those guys will no longer be here. So, just to cherish those relationships and cherish those moments, with each other as this the 2019 football team, I think is going to be special for us.
Coach, looking back at last game, what are some of the positives you take out of that game now moving ahead to the final 2?
Well, I think, again, I've been so proud of the way we've played on special teams. You can go back really to, pretty early on in the year, probably sometime, around the Central Michigan game, where we really started playing at a high level on special teams, and I've seen improvement week in and week out, in that phase. And I think, for me, we always, as coaches, and as a head coach, I always, watch the film, and you watch how teams play on special teams, and I think you have a pretty good idea of the culture within their program, and how they do things and how they operate. And I'm really proud of that right now with us. When I watch our tape and I watch the way that our guys are competing on special teams, it makes me proud, because nobody signs a national letter of intent and says, hey, I want to be the zone missile, on the punt team. Nobody says that. They all come here with much different and higher aspirations. But that group is really such a reflection of your team and your program. And I thought, again, our special teams units played well this past weekend, which was a great positive for us. Made some big plays in the return game. We were able to capitalize on on some of our opponent mistakes and create short fields for our offense. Which was really great to see, and we hope to continue to do that. And I was looking at our quality control coach in the back of the meeting yesterday morning. As we were reviewing the special teams film, Coach Hurd was leading the meeting, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot of young guys. I'm seeing a lot of young guys that are playing on those units and that are playing so well, and that's been really good to see. Another young guy that we haven't talked about, Taylor Griffin, from Strongsville High School, running back for us, started on kickoff return and had some great blocks that helped spring Boogie on some nice returns, and it's just great to see that. It's great to see that growth and that development. And I think from an offensive standpoint, we probably functioned, as well as we have all season long. Particularly our execution on first and second down, I thought was very good. We struggled on third down, and some things that we can do better and that we've corrected. But we played, we played a pretty solid game, and I use that that term, loosely. For us, it's obviously we need to do a whole lot better than just scoring 14 points. I think we're capable of scoring a whole lot more than that. But it's tough when you don't convert third downs. But I think in terms of the self-inflicted, in terms of just some catastrophic mistakes that you just watch and you're thinking, like, why are we doing that? Like, we didn't see that. I didn't see that, while we live, while we were playing, and certainly watching the film, we didn't. We did a lot of things really well. We had a lot of guys that played really well. I thought our offensive line played as well as they've played as a group all season long, whether that was pass protection or in the run game. I thought our quarterback handled pressure better than he has all season long. We adjusted our protections. If they were outnumbering us, if they were bringing more than we had to block, we were setting the protection, so at least that free rusher was coming off the edge and in the face of the quarterback. Just did a great job with that. You had young guys, really step up, guys like Xavier Gray, who played an outstanding game for us at tackle, exceeded every expectation I think that anybody reasonably could have had for his first start. That was very exciting to see. Peter Hayes Patrick had another outstanding game, which was great for us. You look at our wide receiving core, 3 sophomores out there that all played at a high level, that had to step up and fill in some big roles for us. So I thought there were a lot of positives that we can draw from that. I think we didn't play as well as we played of late, on defense. We struggled up front. We kind of, we weren't as physical as we needed to be, in defending the run game and, tackling and all those things. So, we got to get better there. But all in all, again, I thought our guys fought hard. I thought they competed for 60 minutes. And that's a reflection of their attitude and their perseverance throughout this year. So I was really, really proud of that.
A lot of these young guys just have really one more game to play to retain their freshman eligibility. I'm sure you're on top of that one too.
Yeah, we are. Kathy does a great job keeping track of all that for us on the participation reports, and our coaches do as well. We're very heightened sense of awareness of when guys play and with that redshirt rule. And yeah, we do. We have a number of guys that still have a couple games to play. We have some that may play their last game this weekend. Some that are probably gonna use their red shirts just out of need. And I think if in that situation, some of those guys that we're going to call on to do that, I think again is a great reflection of their of their character and their commitment to the team, because that's a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice. Particularly with the year that that we're having, and so for our freshmen to be willing to say, hey, well, I could redshirt. It's still there for me. But if you need me to go, like, I'm ready to go. That means a lot to me personally, and if we do use some of those guys in that way, I'll be forever grateful for that commitment and sacrifice.
Is there a difference in Boogie from the training camp to now? A big difference?
You know what? I think there is, George. Really, I think Boogie. Boogie's been somebody that I've been really excited about. And a lot because of his makeup and his work ethic. There's days. And this is not just in camp. This is during the season. Like, there's Wednesdays we just finished a practice and he had 60 reps at practice, and I'm walking down the hall and I peek out at the indoor and he's out there running, doing gassers and running routes, and I'm like what in the world is he doing? But that's just Boogie, and he works so hard, and I definitely think that he's improved. He's improved in his route running. He's improved, I think, mostly for us is just in his pace and his ability to get into his route, his ability to attack defenders with speed has been important, because he's a really kind of a shifty guy, and he's a nifty guy, and has a really good feel for zones and finding windows. But to a point, early on in the season and in camp, where that was almost a hindrance, because he was just, kind of so slow to get into his routes. And it's like, hey, man, we need you to go. We need you to win right now. And I think that, these past few weeks, we've really seen him develop in that area. And, he's playing at a high level for us, certainly in the kickoff return aspect as well as on offense as a receiver.
What prompted you to start Xavier Gray?
Well, I think we've been working X in. He's been taking a lot of reps for us at practice, and we were able to get Trevor back. For the couple games ago, so that was great. We were able to play him, and he was able to be out there, and X didn't have to play in that role, and just had another situation where it really forced our hand and said, hey, like, we're playing him, we're starting him, and he's going to play the whole way. And he's worked hard, and we certainly had the confidence in him to do that. But again, he exceeded I think everybody's expectations. And the hard part now is to keep improving, to keep building on that, and to keep growing. So we hope to continue to play him. If it's this week or the following week, to maximize every opportunity that he has.
We talked about guys playing. Kato, of course, as a starter. Are we going to see the freshman maybe one more time? He's got one more game to play, or is that the decision?
I think it's it's really situational for us at this point, and Kato, I thought, played really well this past week, and I was really proud of him. Had a tough game against Bowling Green. You could see that he hadn't played in a few weeks, but I thought he responded really well last week, and I hope that he keeps building. And that's kind of what we've seen with Kato, is he's better as he gets more work, and as that work is consistent. So I expect Kato to again play well for us, and he's our starter. And we need to do what's best for our team, what gives us the best chance to be successful. And we feel that that Kato gives us the best chance to win football games at this point. And if there's an opportunity where it makes sense, and where we're able to get Zach in some meaningful time, I think we certainly would. But that's just going to be dictated by by the flow of the game and the flow of the week.